Start.
Good evening and welcome to the Nighttime Heat, read on Prom FM 105.5. This Monday, and of course, we're going to have a splendid time tonight on the program. Well, this program promises to be very interesting tonight. We'll have a lot of trending national issues that we're going to talk about tonight. And of course, we'll be streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. That's the Nighttime Heat, Facebook and YouTube channel. Just type Nighttime Heat. You're going to watch the show online, either on your Facebook or either on your YouTube. We are also streaming live on Prom FM Monrovia 105.5. Again, Prom FM Monrovia 105.5. We are streaming live. Well, tonight, like I said, it promises to be very interesting. My panelists are coming in gradually. And so let me just acquaint you with what is coming up tonight on the program. With barely 24 hours to the verdict in the jury tampering case, former Finance Minister Samuel Tuwe has accused VP Kong of wanting to overturn his acquittal verdict. Well, how does he know? We're going to talk about that tonight, along with my panelists. We're going to look at that, where the tea that from is the former finance minister trying to concoct. Is he telling falsehood, or is there anything truism in what he's saying? We're going to talk about that tonight. You know, the president, His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boaka, over the weekend returned from Sierra Leone after sitting with his colleagues. And of course, you know, something that drew our attention, he spoke about the border crisis. He said he met his colleague, Domoya. And I tell you what, you know, I saw the video, you know, when Domoya was entering Sierra Leone with those military, you know, hardwares. I said, what's happening? Why is this guy entering his fellow kind of in the president's country like this? And I think we'll play that video so that you see that, yes, this guy is really a military man. Then when the guy entered, and that drew the attention of you know, Sierra Leoneans. Huge crowd were just looking at the guy convoy entering, you know, Freetown. Can you imagine that? Very powerful, you know, militarily. Also, we're going to talk about, you know, Finda Bono. Finda been serving as she served, in fact, as the protocol president to former President George Weah. Finda recently lost her father, and so the funeral was just a few days ago. And so she threw what people call a tantrum, you know. She said, well, the only people who stood by me included the president, the current president, and also someone's father, the deputy speaker. She made reference to, I think, Nathaniel McGill, but she didn't say anything about former President Weah. She didn't say anything about how executive members of the CDC. So it means that those people didn't stand by her. If we take for her statement, to be something, with some truth in it. So it means that her people didn't stand by. We're going to talk about that, you know. Is she doing it for protection? Is Finda doing what she's doing for protection? That's so, statement, or tribute over her father, throwing jabs at some key members of the CDC. Is it for political? It doesn't have any political undertone. Is it for political reason? Is Finda making her way to Nimbo or making her way to Unity Party? In fact, Unity Party and Nimbo, they are just 5 and 6, But we're going to talk about that tonight also on the program. And the government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Justice and the James Pierre, graduated new magistrates, and of course, who served there as guest speaker, that was the Minister of Finance. He tried to align and tell us about dichotomies and also connect also the economy with the rule of law. I'm going to listen to Gossip Gafuan when he serves as guest speaker tonight. We're going to play that tape, and talk about that. Well, if all goes well, the man Smolba will be our guest. He said, well, I'm coming, and so I'll be on your program as guest. So we're hoping that he can come any moment from now. Now, if time permits, my panelists and I will be trying to do a little analysis. Was the July 17th protest, was it successful? Did the protest yield a desired result? In fact, we heard about the arrest of Molba Molu, came marching police, deployed about 6 vehicles for Molba Molu alone. Spending and using taxpayers, gas and hey man, for Molba Molu alone, 6 vehicles. Was Molba Molu a threat at the time? Molba Molu could have been arrested by just a single police officer, but 6 vehicles. But we're going to talk about that tonight on the program. And then, of course, there's another problem again. Trouble is brewing at the University of Liberia. Your faculty, they cast a vote of no confidence. They said they don't want the leadership of the president and the administration. We're going to talk about that if time permits. David Benedictus Erasmus Namutawa, the guy who's always on time. David, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Sabo. I guess my microphone is not on.
Your microphone? Okay, you can speak now.
So yeah. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Sabo, and good evening to everyone.
I did that intentionally because you always counter me, David.
No, I wouldn't counter you now. Okay. The time is coming.
What is the time?
No, the time is coming because it's all about welcoming me and allowing me to extend my greetings for many viewers and listeners, and maybe some of our colleagues, our fellow panelists who haven't arrived yet. I guess they all following. I'd like to say hi and good evening to everyone. I'd like to say hi to Moses, who will be joining us. I'm quite sure. Wion hasn't shown up yet, but I guess he will show up.
Yes.
So thank you, Sabo, for the time. I had a very wonderful weekend.
Okay, that's good. You and your girlfriend.
That is not your business.
Let me welcome Moses Sandy quickly. Moses, welcome to the Nighttime Heat. Moses, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Saba. And let me say hi to my friend and brother, Mr. David Tabe. Yeah, I've been cracking.
He said you had a jolly good time over the weekend. So I know that his girlfriend will be having. The man doesn't have a wife. Don't think the man got wife. The man doesn't have a wife. The man a lawyer just entering. Doesn't have a wife. He got girlfriend. Sandy.
No. My son, don't mind the suburb man.
So you joining the man lawyer to support him? Yeah, man, every candidate always support the man. The only man who doesn't support the man is George. George said, no, I can't support him, man. You're not married. You got girlfriend home.
Yeah, but John, man, it's good to be with you briefly. So I told you my schedule spaces today.
I know.
I just want to talk to you guys briefly today. It's a pleasure to be here. And let me say hi to my brother, Mr. Family, who also just walking. I guess George is also in studio, right?
Yes.
If George is there, Mr. William, I want to say hi to all of you. And the guys who are making sure that we're okay online, the technical crew.
Okay.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, Moses. And Moses, I think you have to either listen to your phone, listen via your phone, because I have some stuff on the phone that I will have to read, which is our first. Yes, so you got to, and then later on you can just join us. Yeah. Okay, so let me welcome George Kennedy. George, welcome. My namesake.
Thank you. Good evening, Saba, and good evening to my colleagues, my co-panelists, Mr. Sandy, who just called in along with my colleagues here, Mr. Tagbe, and also Attorney at Law family. So to our many listeners, I would say thank you. You are welcome in our Tag Nations. Thank you.
Okay. Our legal counsel, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. George. And as always, we're glad to be here. I want to say a very big thank you for keeping the show even in our absence. The last week has been very hectic, and some of us were out. But I'm glad that even in the absence of one or two of the panelists, the show still go on.
Yeah.
Because we have a piece of job to do. Thank you. And again, once again, I'm glad to be here tonight.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Got a couple of things to talk about. If all goes well, maybe someone more will join us. He promised to do so. We haven't seen yet. But with barely 24 hours, let me just quickly, guys. Barely 24 hours to the verdict in the jury tampering case. Former Finance Minister Samuel Tuah has accused VP Coon, Jeremiah Coon, of wanting to overturn his acquittal. I don't know how true is that. Whether it's whether it's concocting or he's saying the truth. We're going to talk about that. President Joseph Boakai returned home over the weekend, and of course, he spoke about the border crisis once again. We're going to talk about that also on the program. Does Finda Bondo remarks at her father's funeral home doesn't have any political honor to him. Finda Bondo has been making the rounds on social media. What's the reason? I will be looking at that tonight. And of course, Finance and Development Planning Minister Augustin Kpei-Kafwan spoke at the graduation of some new magistrates. He tried aligning the rule of law with the economy, with the nation building. We're going to look at him, listen to what he had to say that day, and just talk about it also on the program. What we're going to figure out tonight, what are the July 17 protests was successful. We saw police deploying 6 vehicles for Mulbah Molu alone. In fact, Mulbah, unfortunately, was not home. We saw Mulbah with slippers on and being flanked by his colleague Moses Akaras Gray. We're just watching the entire video. And I was asking myself, but Mulbah Molu is just a single man. Why spend all that gas and fuel and put in the vehicles for 6 vehicles to go and pick up Mulbah? It was something. But we're going to talk about that tonight as well. And the trouble brewing again at the university. The University of Liberia has always been saddled with a crisis. I understand that some faculty, the faculty association, they said, they declared a vote of no confidence. They don't want the leadership there at the university. But we're going to talk about that tonight. So, gentlemen, welcome to the program once again. Let's try to read exactly, start with our first our story tonight, as we await Sumo, if he comes in, Representative Mulbah. Former Finance Minister Samuel Tuah pens, that is right, breaking Vice President Joseph Jeremiah Coon, rather. Vice President Jeremiah Coon.
You want to demote the president?
No, my man, I can't demote him. Don't worry. I know. He's our president. That's part of that is our president. Vice President Jeremiah Coon has instructed George Usman Feka to overturn a verdict of acquittal on a bogus and spurious allegations of jury misconduct through the judge, though the judge finds no evidence linking me or my lawyers to any misconduct, whatever that means. Samuel Tuah is saying that the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, Jeremiah Coon, has instructed the judge, Usman Feka, to overturn the verdict of acquittal. He said, well, that's why there's no misconduct that he conducted. That he carried out. The judge, has been asked by the vice president to overturn the acquittal. Over the last month, the government has been deadlocked on what many in the government and some justices on the Supreme Court bench considered an unprecedented overreach that would dome the judiciary. These patriotic voices had told the government that we cannot destroy the judiciary because of Samuel Tuah. The man won his case, and it would be dangerous to overturn a jury verdict when recently Abdullah Kamara's verdict of acquittal was unanimous. It shows the government is witch hunting and cherry picking in corruption cases. In response, than protecting the rule of law. Can the Vice President say this? My intelligence informs me that the final decision was handed to Judge Fakai last Thursday after a lengthy government discussions on the pros and cons and after a national security assessment. Well, let's see whether Judge Fakai obeys the tyrannical order or protects the judiciary and the rule of law in his ruling tomorrow. As for me, the ruling tomorrow has no bearing since 9 patriotic jurors have already delivered the verdict, declaring me a free man based on the evidence presented to them. When that decision was announced in court, I cried to celebrate their courage and patriotism. I shared those same tears before the camera at a press conference, moved by the fact that 9 ordinary Liberians could withstand the pressures and prompting from a monstrous and nefarious government. Jessica has only one option, and that is to issue my certificate of freedom tomorrow. If he refuses, I will submit to no bogus political trial. That's not true written. If he refuses, I will submit to no bogus political trial in violation of my constitutional rights. I'm a free man. They wanted to take me, they wanted to make me a criminal. They can now have me as a freedom fighter. Well, in Liberia, okay. Gentlemen, that's Samuel Tuah. We can read all of what he wrote, but he has come up to accuse the sitting vice president of trying to overturn his acquittal verdict tomorrow. And as we know already, the hearing or the verdict is expected to be handed down. Now, Mr. David Tabwe, let me begin with you, not with anybody this time.
I mean, you didn't start with a lawyer, you started.
No, I want to begin with you, David Tabwe. Don't be afraid. That's not a big question.
Why you go afraid?
Do you think what Samuel Tuah is doing or what he has written, is it intended to just create unnecessary sentiment ahead of the trial tomorrow or the hearing tomorrow?
That is obvious. That is obvious, and that what many people who have followed the statement believe in. That's obvious that he's seeking a public sentiments. The issue of his acquittal, was something that was debated and also taken to court, challenge in court. And the argument is that the government has been unfair in terms of pursuing the overturn of his acquittal. Now he sees it as a conspiracy against him, and now he's pointing accusing fingers at the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia. Making accusations, is one thing, and proving your accusations is another thing. So if you say the Vice President is the one who's undermining your acquittal, and then you should have something tangible or proof to the public that in fact what he's saying is something to go by. So that is the view of the former finance minister. And his comments even have the tendency to even prejudice, I mean, the entire case, because tomorrow the verdict is expected, and he's making such a statement, accusing the vice president of the Republic of Liberia. I don't know what the law says about that. We have our friend Attorney Law, a family here. Maybe he will throw a lot of light on it. But the fact of the matter is that if you're accusing the vice president of venturing into the case of juror tampering, and you say he's the one wanting wanting you to be penalized, then you have to prove that to the public.
Okay, let me go with that. Let's hear from our legal mind. You think Sumner 12? What are you reading? Is he trying to craft foul? Because apparently you have already heard that the case will be will go against him tomorrow, or what?
So let me say this. I think the former minister is trying to play smart, and trying to, he feel that he can pull maybe the sympathy of the judge, or try to pull the sympathy of the Liberian people towards him, to say that there's somebody within the executive, quote unquote, the vice president wants him, going to jail. If Mr. Twe had said the Chief Justice has given instruction, then we will have some little bit of, understanding. The judges don't take decision, they don't take instruction from the vice president. And for people to sit at this stage and still wants to bring our judiciary on a public disrepute. First of all, you don't even know the individual called Feka. Wasn't it the same Feka who ruled not guilty for him? So if the vice president wanted him to go to jail, and Feka had the gavel to make sure that he goes to jail, don't you think, in fact, the first verdict would have been overturned? But if there was allegations of jury tampering, you went to the Supreme Court to stop the process. The court say the judge should go ahead and investigate the matter because it's grave. Mm-hmm. They've gone through the investigations. I cannot preempt what the court will rule. Mm. Nobody in there will tell you that, tomorrow the court will rule against you, except where he's trying to preempt that he will be found guilty, so he's not trying to create this whole political cloud around this thing. But it is totally wrong.
Okay, let me hold you there. George, let's hear you.
You see, politics, when you mix too much politics with law, then probably the possibility of you becoming the victim could be high, because the law look at the facts, the evidence in the case. And when I read the former minister's post, in fact, it made me to think that probably he knows that he's there. People already in, probably he knows that he's guilty. So he's trying to preempt what he wants to do. I've read threats in his remarks. Seriously, I can tell you, he can't pose any threat he can't threaten the Liberian people.
And even the court.
He can't threaten the court. He cannot threaten the government. By him going to accuse the vice president, the whole CDC afraid of the vice president. Anything in this country, let me tell you, first people used to say the president, no. They are actually afraid of the vice president. And the negative thing that the man, they can go attack.
Yeah.
And so attacking the vice president will not help you. Because you were taught you have to prove whatever you said before. Mm-hmm. So that strategy, I want to advise that it's not the best strategy again. All right? It's not the best strategy. It's not because Nimba Man is Chief Justice, so even the Chief Justice control all the judges and decide what those judges say on matters. No,
the judges are independent.
They are very, very independent and impartial. As far as George Feka had not seen him, but his records have been following. He's a man of the facts, the evidence. Where the evidence, the facts go, that way he goes.
Okay, let me hold you. Now, Moses, I'm sure you've been following, though you are in the diaspora, but you've been following and reading also online. Senator Twe has come up today to accuse the vice president of trying to undermine his freedom, in another word. You think Senator Twe is just preempting and trying to play smart, or trying to seek public sentiment and sympathy and all of that?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, what I can say, I don't want to be definitive to say, well, Mr. Toy or former Minister Toy is seeking public sentiment or sympathy, if you will, or he's misrepresenting the truth. But what I can say is that the allegation by the minister or from the minister is a serious allegation. It draws into question the integrity of the vice president, the integrity of the government. And what I would like to suggest, the government must institute a probe. Now, let's come back to the views held by most Liberians that the Liberian criminal justice system judiciary is independent. I beg to differ. The Liberian judiciary is not independent. I say the judiciary is not independent because there are several examples that support what made me to hold our view. So for example, and again, this is where the president or the government has to come and set the record straight. You listen to the former chief of protocol, Finna Bondo, when she spoke at her dad's funeral.
We haven't reached there yet. I will talk about that, Moses.
No, listen. I'm trying to support my argument.
Okay.
That the judiciary is not independent.
Okay.
This woman made a profound allegation. Finna is being prosecuted for acts of corruption, but Finna mustered the courage to say that, hey, quote unquote, seditionists wanted to see her prosecuted, but it took the intervention of the president and Thomas Fowler for her to be at the funeral of her father. That's a serious pronouncement. That's a serious allegation that's made. So if the executive doesn't come to clarify this, then it will support my argument that the executive can interfere, can manipulate the judiciary at any time to work the way it wants it to be. Now let's come back to a situation again. Samuel Tua went through a legal process. Criminal cases, criminal cases, I'm not a lawyer. It is the responsibility of the state to prosecute by producing a preponderance of evidence. Samuel Tua won because the government failed to prosecute. That's why he was declared what? Not guilty. When that happened, the jury was disbanded. After a week, 3 of the jurors that voted against Mr. Tua went back to the sea court and so, oh, there was jury temporary. But don't forget that these are people that were under the control of the state. In a way, now they come in. Well, I do not know. I do not want to preempt what is going to come out tomorrow. But I think the allegation from Samuel Tua is a serious allegation. It warrants serious consideration, given the way this government has conducted itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me hold you there. Let me hold you there, Moses.
Yes.
Let me hold you there quickly
Yes.
to hear from our legal counsel here. The first thing he said, the judiciary is not independent.
Then he doesn't understand, how the governance structure works in our country. The judiciary has always been independent, irrespective of who's in power. There could be time where there are discussions behind the scene, but that does not influence the decision of a judge or even the Supreme Court. Now, what he needs to realize, and thank God he brought in the Finna Bondo scenario.
No, we got Finna
No.
Bondo.
I want to respond to that.
Yeah.
First of all, he should know that the Finna Bondo matter has not even gone to trial. What is happening are just preliminary process where she was asked to file a bond. So once she filed a bond, her crime is bailable. She could be released to her lawyer. You know, so when you see these things happening and then you come in to say, oh, somebody intervene. What if Thomas' father have sent as surety to give his property to her as a collateral for the bond? Doesn't mean that the president called to say, oh, the court should allow her to go bury her father. Even if the president did that, the matter has not gone to trial. These are pre-trial processes that are ongoing. Once the case gets before the court, it is the judge that has final decision in that matter, whether to stop the trial or to move forward.
Let me hold you there.
So
Yeah.
let me push back. I want to push back quickly.
No,
Okay.
go ahead.
Mr. Family, let me push back, my brother.
Mhm.
You are the lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
and I want you to speak for the people of Liberia today.
Mm-hmm.
A matter is in court. Well, it is the preliminary phase of the hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Are you telling us that it is right for somebody to declare that she was able to stay out of prison because of the intervention of the president?
She didn't say that either. She didn't say
Well,
that.
that's
She didn't say that.
oh my God.
No, she didn't say that. You see. You see, let's be careful how we use the words.
The lady said, it was the intervention of the president.
She said people want her to go to
And
jail.
Thomas Father.
She said, but okay. So let me explain to you now, because the trial processes are, you know,
Go ahead, my brother.
there
Go
are
ahead.
different steps. And like I said to you, these are pre-trials process where you have to present a bond, and then you know that bond will be argued in court. We all been here. When Fina were arraigned, she presented the first bond, right? It was opposed by the prosecution team, and she was given another 72 hours to present a bond. Okay, so like I said, in that event, she lost her father. She had an emergency to be outside to be able to bury her father.
Let us not tie this thing or
No. We'll come back. You're trying to miss.
No, the issue of Finda is a separate discussion.
It's a separate.
He tried to tie it to justify.
Yes.
But let me hold you there, comrade. Let me hold you there and then go to George. George, he said, listen to Moses. He said the allegation raised by or being made by Samuel Tuer, it should claim the government's attention. The government should investigate. You think it involves investigation?
Mr. Sandy sees the government like play toy. Sometimes the hard get thing. So every little thing government not credible, whole institution of professionals. It's not credible, they don't do things good, everything. Anybody says anything about them, you tend to side with it, and then try to shift the blame on the government. Hey, Mr. Sandy, let's look at this thing. It's not everybody that will talk, especially on legal issues, where the ruling is not even up. Then you want the government, the Minister of Information, or the president to go speak. Then you call it, the president is prejudiced, I think, the result that they wanted that they got. This country, vast majority of the population in this country know that their country being run properly. So if you begging the government to speak to what former Minister Tuer said, you're wasting your time. They're not going to say anything to it because that's a matter in court.
Let me just bring something out, right?
Quickly.
The reason why I said there's a political undertone to this, right? Mr. Tuer lawyer knows that there is a final arbiter of our justice system. So even if tomorrow you go and the judge rule against you, the law says you have the right to take appeal to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
So if you have that right to take appeal and you have all of the evidence that the vice president, quote unquote, is involved, you keep that evidence when you go before the justice in chamber. You display.
Okay. Moses, we are coming in quickly. We'll have to transition quickly. You are coming in.
Yeah, quickly, let me just say this. And you guys are in studio. Every one of you heard me. I didn't speak my dialect though. I spoke English.
Maybe the American English that one.
Okay, George, I want you to listen.
Please play them. Why?
I said what Mr. Tue said it's a serious allegation that requires what? An investigation.
No.
That does not in any way mean that I side with him or I do not side with him. I spoke English. I didn't speak Mende.
Okay,
That's
let me
what
hold
I'm
you there now, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Let me hold you there. Let's go around the table briefly so that we can transition. Gentlemen, we got this 2029 still a bit, not in fact far, it's still around the corner. Maybe 3 years from now, or a little over 3 years. This is the second time or third time we are hearing the name of the vice president again in the public negatively.
Mhm.
And this is the vice president, I'm sure maybe if what we hear is true, may likely again go on the ticket of the party.
May likely work.
I mean, he may likely go, as the vice president.
Yeah.
Now, we heard first is Kingsman, Wilmer Pay. Wilmer Pay came and made a lot of startling revelations, negative against the vice president. Again, we're hearing, saying something, linking the vice president to wanting to overturn his verdict. Gentlemen, the question is it, are these stories, linking the vice president every time, like from Wilmer Pay up to Samuel Tue? Do you think are they positive for the vice president ahead of 2020?
Whether they are in positive or positive, it's the views of people who, somebody earlier said that the vice president is a political target. The fear is that after Joseph Boak, he's the next guy in the role. And so it is obvious that his political opponents will create an impression, would always paint the bad picture of him so he can become unpopular.
But Wilmer Pay was not his political opponent. Listen, now, 1 minute. Let me correct you. Yeah, Wilmer Pay came from the same
you're not
county.
correcting me.
No,
You're
I'm
expressing
fine.
your view.
Yeah,
on
Wilmer
that.
Pay came from the same county. Besides, they were part of the same. They became part of the same political arrangement. So Wilmer Pay is not an opposition to him. When Wilmer Pay came up with all of the allegations, if you say yeah, 12, we agree. So go ahead.
But politics is not about tribe, not about both of them being Nimba County citizens. It's not about facts. Because why don't you think that Wilmer Pay just insinuated something? Why don't you think that Wilmer Pay is also sounding like a Samuel Tue? Why don't you make it? Why don't you want to think that way? So it is the view of anybody to say that the vice president, there's a bad image all the time, a negative image of the vice president in the public. It's because that he has become a target.
Okay, let me hold you there. So let me hold you there. The question is, again, the vice president has come into the public negatively.
Mm-hmm.
What are you reading concerning his image?
So let me say
ahead
this.
of 2029.
Let me say this. A lot of people don't know who Jeremiah Kpankun is.
Who is he?
I always equate him to the dump site. And I will tell you why. Where people throw garbage at, and the dump site take that garbage and turn it into manure, and when you plant anything there, it flourishes. That's Jeremiah Kpankun. Have you heard him over the place making noise or sending people to attack these people? Jerry Works is speaking for itself. And like my colleague here said, the political actors in our country are seeing him as a force to reckon with. So what they want to do, they want to put all their political theatrics, missionary, towards destroying him. But every time they do it, he takes it and turns it into his favor.
What do you consider a force to reckon with?
He is a force to reckon with.
No, what I'm saying, what do you consider a force to reckon with?
First of all, he's someone who welcomes everybody. He's not divisive. Irrespective of your differences, he's willing to sit with you and discuss. You saw that with him and Wilmer Pay. He drove to his house. They had that interactions. Some people would have said, I don't want to see that man. Then he say whatever he wants to say. He came and said, this is my big brother. All right? So all of these different political tactics, let's attack him, let's destroy him so we can split Nimba so that, you know, the woman will not pick him. It's not going to work for them.
All right, let me hold you there. George.
Why don't we play Senator Edwin Snow's account of Jerry on the show? But we always play things that are negative about Jerry. I'm surprised. Because when Senator Edwin
so what are you insinuating?
An opposition.
No. What are you insinuating?
When
You see, I've been quiet. I've not been talking. What are you insinuating?
When Senator Edwin Snow, an opposition person, went on the radio on Spoon these few days, he was very clear about Jerry.
No, we're not talking about that.
No, his view about Jerry, opposition
No, but
person,
we're not talking about
the leading opposition person.
Comrade.
So now,
We are not talking
an
about what
opposition person who is on trial, an opposition person who is on trial for allegedly stealing and appropriate money.
You say he's not credible.
But
That's what you said.
Yeah.
So if Snow say anything positive
So that's why you can't play it.
about Jeremiah Kun, we're not going to give that credence. Then you don't give the credence as
So
well.
then I don't. But that twice is not credible. Why are we playing him?
Fine, no, the point of the matter is that you're trying to draw in Edwin Snow. And you
Because
said it on the show.
the truth is,
You have said on the show consistently.
So sense
that Snow is not credible.
Okay, sense also, Twe is not credible. Why he says he's not credible?
Okay, so let me hold you there. Let me hold you there. Now, Moses,
It's
let's hear from you because we have to transition. Let's hear from you. We are looking at the man, you know, the vice president. The fact that his name continues to come up negatively. We heard some of the things that, or many of the things that Womopi said. Again, we're hearing Samuel Twe making accusations. Do you think all these negatives are they good for him ahead of 2029? Can he be a good pick maybe for the Unity Party with all the negatives around him?
Forget about
Let's hear.
no.
No, please, no. The man is a panelist and very broad in mind. Unless somebody guys, yeah.
So Saba.
No, please, 1 minute.
Saba.
1 minute.
What do
What I want to achieve?
Yeah.
Why will you say this? Let go. Moses,
Yeah.
let hear from you. I mean, you say your own. Let Moses say your
You
own.
cut me off. I was saying something.
I didn't cut you off.
You didn't give me the
No,
time.
Moses,
You cut me
1 minute.
off. You said because when I was critical of
Because
Twe,
you are critical of Snow. You've been critical of Snow.
So
if Snow say anything about
Mr. Sandy who be critical of Spoon, how
we are
Stato
not
is a
talking about
criminal,
that now.
but
No.
he can be quoting Spoon. You can't call him off,
We are
right?
not talking about that.
Man,
You've been critical of
It's
Snow
not
here.
strange. It's
On
not
several occasions,
It
you've been
that's strange.
critical
I'm
of
not
Snow.
about to call other people names.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Moses.
Go ahead, Moses.
Moses, let's hear you.
It will not change anything in 2029.
The negativity, the criticism, the allegations, these solid allegations against the vice president, I think they are not good. Let's go back to Womopi. Womopi said the vice president did not want him at the Ministry of Mines and Energy. And he did everything he could. I'm not quoting verbatim, but I mean interpreting what he said. That he did not want him, he did everything he could to get him out of there. He also accused the vice president of trying to manipulate the academic fraud at the University of Liberia. He accused the vice president of forming alliance with Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala to organize demo with the sole purpose of undermining the Unity Party. They met, they baked bread, but Womopi has never gone public to retract what he said. So these are serious allegations. Some people will say, oh, well, it doesn't matter. But when you reconcile, you admit your guilt and ask for forgiveness. If Womopi lied on the vice president, he's under obligation to go public and retract the statement. If that doesn't happen, it stands out. And the allegation came from what? From within. Now you have Samuel Twe coming up with another allegation, saying that the vice president, according to Twe, manipulated the process for the outcome of tomorrow's hearing to be against it. Is that true? That's what I said. This is a serious allegation that requires what investigation.
Okay, thank you, Moses.
So the question
Moses,
I'd like
thank
to
you.
ask
Moses, thank you.
The question I'd like to ask you
Thank you,
guys.
Moses.
Are we
Yeah, one minute.
just giving equal
Gentlemen,
time? Even if
I
somebody
gave
else-
equal time.
You didn't give me the equal time.
1 minute. Moses, learn so I can go to George.
You know, this has
No, 1 minute, please. Yeah, I'll go to you, George. Okay, fine, Moses.
So,
Moses learn so I can go back to George.
Yeah, I just want to learn quickly. A potential presidential candidate, if he had all these shady things thrown at you, no clarification provided, that creates some.
So would you provide the
doubt.
clarification?
Please, man, please, you can talk, man.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Thank
Go ahead, Georgie, quickly. My namesake. Very good brother indeed.
Frankly,
But some of the things going around like this. Why?
Okay.
No, I'm no. George has
frankly-
accused me
frankly,
that I didn't give
was-
him
yeah,
sufficient
I
time.
was just bringing
So
this up
let me give you a time.
because the guys from the opposition bloc, I said I don't trust Senator Snow
You said that consistently, yeah.
consistently,
Mhm.
right? But it doesn't mean that the opposition people don't trust him. That when he says something that you can't elevate. That's the bias. Since I'm talking about here. So the thing here is, Mr. Sandy, let me speak to you directly. You are entitled to your opinion, but that which is taking so strong like this, we here we don't take it to be anything, because we know that it's a political tantrum. These things got no space to learn here politically when it comes to 2029.
Okay.
It will be swallowed right on the spot and it goes.
Okay. Thank you
Don't
for your
waste your
clarity.
time on the air about it saying we have political impact.
Thank you for your clarity. Yeah.
So it is
we
not.
got the transition
It
quickly.
is not about how many times or how many people have accused the vice president. It's about accusing him rightly and not wrongly. Your ability to prove your claims against him. That's what matters. It's not about the many times they accuse him, and then it because people say these things about him. So that means that there's a lot of negativity about him. So he's not a trusted leader, or he can be a trusted leader.
Okay.
That is absolutely not fair.
All right. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Now, gentlemen, we have to transition. You're listening to the Nighttime Heat, right to the Prime FM 105.5. We are streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Just tap Nighttime Heat out on your Facebook or your YouTube. You're going to watch the show online and enjoy the show as well. We are also streaming live on Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. We are streaming live. You can also, again, log in there and watch the show online. You're listening to the Nighttime Heat. Gentlemen, let's transition now. The president, Joseph Yuma Boyka, returned over the weekend from Sierra Leone. And at the airport, as usual, you know, the media will always encounter him to hear from him basically what his trip was all about and some of the successes. Let's hear the president when he addressed the issue of the border.
How are you? Thank you, Mr. President. How are you? Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome to Liberia. My name is Anthony Williams. I work for EOBC. You'll kindly tell us about your participation in the ECOWAS summit in Sierra Leone. But I've got one crucial question. Mr. President, you expressed optimism about progress in resolving the Liberia-Guinea border situation and thank ECOWAS Commission for its support. And you also said very soon there's going to be a peaceful and mutually acceptable resolution to be reached. How soon? And can you give us a sense of the progress that has been made so far?
You can see what President Dumbuya himself referring to the history of what the forefathers meant at the border. So I have to believe that he is now convinced that we can all live together and that things are going to be okay. His very presence there, stressing the fact that you want to be part of ECOWAS is part of assurance that we're all going to work together.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
The president, His Excellency, Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boyka. I always like to add the ambassador there. Before he became president, he was then that title was then ambassador. You just listen to him, and this is the second time, not the first time, that he had gone in a gathering with Domoya, and they've spoken about the border crisis. Do you think that we are getting somewhere with this latest? Because what was almost similar that the president, returned with. I said, look, Dumoya and I, we spoke, and up to present, the men from Guinea, they are still at the border. Are we getting somewhere with this? Do you think we're going to get somewhere with this?
Yes, of course. Yes, of
with the
course. Yes, I'm also optimistic that we're going somewhere. The fact that the two leaders continue to meet and discuss the topic and discuss the same subject about how to get out of it, how to resolve it, and the assurances Domoya is giving, also making our president to feel positive about his sincerity or honesty about that. So it's Domoya who is always, and the good thing is that the two presidents, they engage in each other on this matter, most especially when they have the opportunity to meet at some of these important gatherings like the one that happened in Freetown, Sierra Leone. Yes, of course, we're getting somewhere. The fact that they're talking about it repeatedly, and the president now, and even the president or the government has always said that, look, we engage in the matter diplomatically. There are discussions going on behind the scenes. And this is not about pressure coming from the public about Liberia or President Walker ordering our soldiers to get to the place to engage the Guinean soldiers. So the diplomatic trend that the government has decided, or President Walker has decided, has to some extent restore peace and stability near the border, though the problem hasn't been resolved or hasn't been solved yet. But the way our government is handling it, that is what responsible for the calm and peace that is non-existent near the border. Just a few months ago, there were a lot of tension there, but the fact that the government is engaging the Guinean authorities on the matter, how can it be resolved, and the continuing engagement with President Domoya, that shows signs.
Okay,
that we get in somewhere.
So let me digress a bit. You see, when a journalist asks a civilized question, how you get answer? When the president came from Turkey, right? The question that was asked, that's the answer he gave. Did you listen to him today? Let me say this. I followed the ECOWAS Extraordinary Summit of Heads of State in Sierra Leone. And a few things I pick up from there. One, and I want for my brother Moses Sani, if you're listening, let him follow this. There was a new ECOWAS headquarters built by Julius Maada Bio at Lungé for the gathering of these leaders. Because when we start building the Mano River stuff here, they run away with all kinds of things. These are the reasons why these structures are built. But what I've observed from the Guinean, from the summit in Sierra Leone was the sheer arrogance of the Guinean leader. The way that guy entered Sierra Leone
got a video
with armored personnel carriers. You don't do that.
There was that invasion.
You want to show your military might? Gone are the days that the guns protect a leader. You have to get you have to get the endorsement of the people. This guy entered a sovereign country with military.
Ooh, Guinea convoy. Guinea convoy. Guinea convoy.
You are going to a host country where your security is already guaranteed. There was no reasons to show the sheer arrogance of military might.
Okay, you made a point. Let's hear you.
Thank you. Just to add up, he invaded Sierra the other time, so he was afraid. He went with military. He had not been an ECOWAS member. He withdrew from ECOWAS, so he went to reapply for membership, and he carried that kind of that type of thing. That's why our president said he's gone back. he decided he has to join ECOWAS. And our discussion, he knows, he's seen the history, he's been told the history by his people. So definitely we're moving forward.
Now, so let me hold you there,
Yeah.
George. This is the second time we've heard our president
Yeah.
to talk about the Guinean leader that they met and they spoke about, they talked about this crisis in Guinea. This is the second time. This is the second time. Do you think we're going to get somewhere? We're going to achieve, we're going to see the Guineans departing our borders, especially when these two leaders have already spoken again the second time?
Sure. You see the convoy, you see an arrogant leader. So you have to be very careful because you want regional stability. So you will talk with him, you will say, okay, I'm going, we talk. All right. He goes, he says, and if people to that at that particular border, they say everything's stable, but it's just that the presence of a Guinean still on our side, that's a problem.
That's frightening.
Yeah, it's frightening.
Okay.
But I support the continue talking because even war goes over there, we still have to go to the political table. So the best thing, diplomacy, is the best way out. And I want to encourage my government to continue engaging, not to even give break in their engagement. Let's continue engaging.
But the question I asked, this is the second time, George.
It will even happen the fourth time, the fifth time, and the sixth
Our
time.
president comes back.
Yeah.
We are expecting to hear, yes, Guinea has finally agreed to withdraw its men. Instead, while we hear, we spoke again. We and the Guinean president spoke.
Yeah, and he's going to move. He's going to withdraw his troops. He's getting the facts. He's getting the evidence. He's being briefed properly by his people. And so he knows he's going to. We cannot tell Guinea we got to move today.
Okay. Now,
Tomorrow, yes.
Moses hasn't come yet. Let me welcome my one of the panelists, Mr. Desmond Wion. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me express my unqualified apology to our followers. I've been following the conversation, en route.
Please. Lead the man.
I said my unqualified apology.
You're not speaking to the mic. There's no mic.
I have qualifications.
Why you call unqualified? No, my man. You starting
Please.
poorly.
No, please.
You starting
Dave,
poorly.
this is not right.
Why can you say
This
unqualified?
is not right, Dave.
It's unqualified because
Now.
I'm unobligated.
All right, I was just welcoming you, but just hold your peace.
Okay.
Let's hear Moses on this whole the return of our president, and again announcing that he and the Guinean president spoke. What I'm going to get something from there this time around. This is the second time they spoke on. Let's hear you, Moses.
Yeah, quickly, I'm about to leave you guys, but let me just say this quickly. About the situation in Liberia, what I can say is that we currently have a stalemate. We're not making progress. Nobody is shooting. People pretending that life is going on, but life is still not going on. Our people are not free to move around freely like they did before, no cross-border activities. The Guineans are still on our side, and they continue to hold this political discussion. And let me give you an example. It's like you apply for a job. You went through the interview, the people say, okay, look, we'll get back to you. And they continue to get back to you. Your future is in the limbo. You're not sure about because you don't want to travel. Then they say, hey, my man, come here is the job. This is where we are. This is an impasse. This is a stalemate. That seems to be working for them. And what the president said, it just defeats what the Ministry of Information said before, that the problem was resolved. So we still have a problem. Now, let's come to the Guinean president or the Guinean head of state. When I look at the convoy, two things stood out to me. And I'll be speaking as a mental health specialist on this. The Guinean leader struggles with what we call paranoia, meaning that when you have this constant fear of danger, that you think people are coming after you. This guy knows how he got to the leadership of Guinea. Like all of you said, it makes no sense for you to carry a convoy almost 100 cars to a foreign country. Who is after you? Who wants to kill you? Nobody. But this guy has this anxiety. He has this anxiety that there is an impending danger. That something terrible can happen to me at any time. That's why you see him carrying such a long convo. So thank you, guys. I'll talk to you.
Okay, Moses, thank you also. Thank you. Now, gentlemen,
Moses.
no, I'm coming. No, Moses is gone. Before I can go to Mr. Desmond Williams, rather. Let me state my difference and opposition, and let me counter all of you guys.
Yeah,
regarding the way in which the Guinean president entered Sierra Leone. I saw that convoy yesterday watching it. I felt elated. I felt joyful.
You thought about Chancellor.
I felt happy. You know why? Because this is a president who does not pretend. He's a military man.
No, he's
not.
He's not.
No. He is. He's a military man. What are you talking? He is.
Okay, finish your
Yeah,
own
he
first.
is.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a military man.
No, finish your own first.
No, but you're not going to counter me. I'm saying my own. You already say your own. You're not going to
I'll
counter
tell
me.
you why.
Because everybody knows that I'm a military man. Now, the point is, the guy does not pretend. I'm a military man. I'm entering Guinea like a military president. And I was so elated, and I saw the people standing by and looking at the guy convoy. The guy had the latest military weapons in his convoy. Look at the vehicles. Look at those military vehicles. I was so impressed. And I chatted on what I do. I was so impressed. So, gentlemen, that the man we know that
some people are paranoid.
That's not about anything. Let's hear you come.
Yeah, so thank you. I've been following the conversation, and I must appreciate all of my co-panelists, including our audience. This is what I gotta say on this. Then I got issue on a discussion as relate to the arrival of Guinean president in Freetown, or better still in Gay, Sierra Leone.
No, fresh. We want to hear your take on our president's comment when he returns.
You know,
when are we going to make a progress?
This is the second time. This is the same thing that I said on the show, and I can remember vividly. Some of my co-panelists tried to tear me apart.
Okay.
The Minister of Information, few weeks or a month ago, said when he spoke at ELBC, he said the situation at the border, I may not be exact in terms of verbal term, but key adjectives he used, that the situation at the border is stable, is calm, normality is being restored, our people are going by the normal businesses. Few days after media pressure, he came out to say, oh look, that was misinterpretation. What I said is not what is being interpreted. But however, I'm saying that the situation at the border, why the two Guinean soldiers stay our side, but there have been frantic efforts in terms of calm, resolution.
Mm-hmm.
So now that the president have come out to speak about the status of the border, and when the president speaks, not even the Minister of Information can question what the president says. The president was very honest. So I can say on the show many times when the president comes, and then when you speak, if there are dishonesty in terms of a trace of dishonesty in his statement, I can admit it. I can say the president was somehow dishonest in terms of a response to the journalist question. But when the journalist asked him about the entire situation of the border, he was very honest. That look, the situation at the border has not been resolved.
He didn't say that.
That is what his statement implies.
No.
So
don't interpret the president.
No, please, gentlemen, just say your own. Say your own.
Entitled to your opinion.
Yeah, go ahead. Legal counsel, your lawyer, my man. Your lawyer, I will apply against you, your lawyer. Please.
For the fact that the president said that Guinean president they are still discussing. They are still discussing in terms of the resolution.
It means there's an unresolved
There is an unresolved situation at the border. That is what the president said.
No, please. I didn't know.
So that is what the president said. So in real essence, if a situation between two countries is resolved finally, the Guinean soldiers that on Liberian territory will be on their territory.
Surely.
Up to date, it's been over like about 4 to 5 months now.
Yeah.
Guinean soldiers are still on the Liberian territory. What is that? The presence of Guinean soldiers, just by the fact that they are on our Liberian soil, do you know what that does? It instills fear in ordinary Liberians, especially those inhabitants who are living around that
So
border.
let me hold you. So our president has returned, and he said they met. Why you laughing, man?
And that is
They met, and again, the Guinean leader has assured him this is the second time.
that is why I'm saying that the entire Liberian government initiative through diplomacy has not yielded any result. I don't too sure there is any prospect, by the way. So but don't get yourself confused. The very same government will take my word into context. The very same government will take few months for now. They will go back to whatever summit, whatever Mother River Union or ECOWAS summit, and they will come out and say, "Oh, we are still making progress in terms of the negotiation." But let's ask ourselves: Can this negotiation through diplomacy last for an indefinite period? Since the thing happened around February, March, we are in July.
Okay, let me hold you.
So let me comment on the situation of Guinea.
Of Guinea, please, 1 minute. Dave, I didn't ask you to speak.
Dave is kind of, I don't want to say overly emotional, but that's him. That's him. That's David for all of us. So the presence of Guinean president,
The entering of
the arrival of Guinean president in Sierra Leone. I listen to some of my co-panelists saying, "Oh, that's a state of paranoia, which is the man is living with an extreme fear of
Moses, you're talking about.
At default,
American.
there is no prescribed clause or clauses or format for a president to arrive in another country.
Who told you that?
There you go.
Who told you that? Don't based on the prayer. It's a lie.
Hello?
It's a blatant lie.
No, that's an opinion.
So why they didn't hold the Guinean president for violation? No, I'm coming. So why they didn't hold the Guinean president for violation?
The government allow it.
Yeah, but I mean that
No
First of all,
government.
you're not even
No
allowed to
government.
enter with a
No
firearm
president
in a sovereign
is
state.
allowed to move without to be another country.
Yeah, but it's good. I mean,
So
if I
can't say
There's a
that.
Geneva.
if I were a Guinean
Geneva
president,
Convention against those
comrade,
things.
comrade.
You can't do
Hey,
that.
gentlemen, 1 minute.
So you want to
1
say you
minute.
know better than the Sierra Leone government that
So what I said, you know, you hear me?
what did he say? That is what you are stopping?
The Salina government allow it. That's why it happened.
So it means that it's applicable.
Chief.
It means that it can be
is
allowed.
constitutional.
Chief, let me give you an example,
All
right?
So no. You cannot give my time. Someone.
Yeah, I'm saying the meantime. No,
No, you
you
cannot give
give
my
me
time.
time. Please. No, you don't have time, David. You spoke already. Gentlemen, 1 minute. 1 minute now. 1 minute. You spoke on already.
Someone try to conclude our
No, you spoke on that. We have the transition. We have the transition.
Without
No,
transition,
you spoke on. You spoke on. You spoke already. We have to.
I cannot be hard job.
We have the
Hey, see the
transition.
time. Let's go.
We have the transition, gentlemen.
Somebody
We
kill
listen to
Lagos,
Night
bring
Time
him back
Heat.
because
Right here on
all right,
Prime
no
FM
responsible bill.
105.5.
We're not going to
We are also streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. You want to watch the show online? Just tap Nighttime Heat either on your Facebook or your YouTube. You watch the show online. We are also streaming live on Prime FM Morovia 105.5 and streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Gentlemen, we're gonna
Mr. George, no. When you make statement that's not true,
No,
it's good to clarify.
No,
You have a listening public.
gentlemen.
Of the show.
You have a listening public.
Gentlemen, 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute.
You have a listening public.
Gentlemen, 1 minute. 1 minute. No. All of you guys, 1 minute. All of you guys spoke. No, David. David, no.
This
David.
is unfair, sir.
David, 1 minute. David.
This is unfair.
David.
You spoke.
David.
You came late. Why did you bring you back the question I already addressed?
David.
Why should he?
David.
You came late and you gave me message, but you don't even know the direction you say about
I
the
just
issue
told
of.
you. No, Mr. Kennedy.
No, you don't do that on the show, man.
Every president under that constitutional law determines how to arrive.
Okay, so gentlemen,
Interlaw.
1 minute.
Let me go, man.
Let me give you an example.
I
Mr. George,
get the analysis.
Mr. George.
Five, four, three, start.
All right, welcome to the program. The Nighttime Heat, rented up from FM 105.5. We got to agree to disagree here on the program. Now, gentlemen, let's start to talk about one major initiative and one major, development, on the part of the government in addressing the issue of the rule of law issue and the judiciary as well. Over the weekend, the James AAP, right?
Yeah.
Okay, graduated some individuals, called magistrates, to handle cases at the lower court, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
At the magisterial court.
At the magisterial court. So they were graduated, and which I think it's a very good move on the part of the government. It's part of effort to address, like we said on this program, if there's anything positive, we're going to, talk about that. So, but at the program, gentlemen, the Minister of Finance and Development Planning spoke there. Let's try to listen to what the minister said.
80% increase over a 3-year period, and we have not reached the bus stop. Within the current budget, we have earmarked funds for the construction of courts and effective operations of courts across the country. We are funding this project because honor-equipped courts cannot fearlessly defend the public interest. We are modernizing the judiciary's infrastructure to accelerate the adjudication of cases and bring dignity to the courts. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, President Walker often says, if we pretend to pay people, people will pretend to work. One principle we hold dear is that those who work in public service are making invaluable contributions to the achievement of our development agenda and must therefore be paid decently and timeously. Judges in particular are a strong pillar as they are restricted from doing other things that others can do to supplement their income. That is why when we began in 2025 to implement our multi-year plan to improve the remuneration and conditions of service of public servants, we prioritize those on the Supreme Court bench and judges of subordinate courts by restoring the remuneration package to pre-harmonization levels. We have also made upward adjustments in the remuneration of magistrates and other judicial workers. We note that we have not reached our desired destination on our journey of upward pay adjustments for public servants. What will bridge the gap between our intention and our action will be our ability to continue to grow government revenue while at the same time reading in non-priority expenditure pressures. To you, distinguished graduates of James A. Pierre Judicial Institute, you are exiting the simulated comfort of the classroom today, and we step directly into the complex crucible of public service. The public life you have chosen is one where your fondness, most honest hours may often go entirely unnoticed by the public, while a single misstep will be amplified across the nation. You must do your work exceptionally well, simply because it is right not because it is celebrated. As I usually say, your job is simply to do your job. However, when the critics and cynics speak, do not dismiss them outright. True leadership demands that we listen. Your task as judicial workers is to learn how to separate constructive critique from toxic noise, possessing the humility to accept what is useful to your growth and the inner strength to reject what is false. Public service is a daily, unyielding test of your judgment, your emotional stability, and your courage. As your careers unfold across our leeward counties, the test of character will manifest in how you manage professional relationships and authority. Some of you will advance rapidly into higher courts, while others may progress more slowly. Those of you who will advance quickly.
Okay, that's the Minister of Finance and Development Planning talking about some of the major achievements the government made in the judiciary. We heard about restoring, judges' salaries to free. But let's hear you. First, give us. Let's talk about the ministers first. His statement at the program, and then give us a little idea of the James APA.
So basically, the minister comments were all good, and it gives those who are actually directly faced with dealing with our justice system at the first court of instance, it gave them that morale and zeal to be able to go and work. There is something that is gradually creeping in our country that we have not brought up to light. It started under former Justice Shana Yoke, where she came down with a policy that all magistrates would be a law school graduate. Prior to that, we had a lot of people who were not law school graduates, who were not lawyers, but they were sitting in magisterial courts and dealing with lawyers and passing judgments. So I think the government has done well in trying to achieve that, because, like I said, the magisterial court is actually distributed based on geographical locations. So that is the first court of instance. If Sober George and his neighbor got into maybe a fight and something happened, you don't run to the circuit court. If you go to the police, you ask the police can follow you guys to the magisterial court. So once you are there, you are meeting people who are going to pass judgment, whether in your favor or against your favor. So it's fair enough to pay them well, so that we try to take away this issue of the court being corrupt. If you don't give the judge money, they can ruin your favor. Because, like he said, President Barker said, if you pretend to pay people, they will pretend to work. So let's pay them well and hold them by that, standard that we are paying you well. You are supposed to deliver by the standard of the Liberian people. And the Chief Justice also echoed that once you have been paid well, you have to do your job. And if it is believed that anybody gets, or get involved with taking bribe here and there, you will be dealt with. The James APA Institute was established for the same thing, to train magistrates, to train lawyers that will go out there into the different courts. And then they also do refresher courses even for lawyers, for judges or so. So this is good. At least people always say that our justice system is only limited to Monrovia. You go to some of the counties, that even if there's a magisterial court, there's barely nobody there. So they're trying to open up. I think you saw the numbers in there. Some of these guys will be assigned to counties, they'll be assigned to different places. And for God's sake, if you're taking a man from here to say into Grand Crew, he has his family in Monrovia, because he's not going to relocate his children, his wife to Grand Crew, because probably they don't have the school that he want them to go to. It means he has to split his salary into two. to take care of the family here and also take care of himself on that side. Now, if you don't pay him well, don't you think that is a room for corruption?
Okay, let me move that. George, and the question I'm going to ask you is that often when this is not the first time that the Minister of Finance had said this concerning restoring the
Pre-harmonization.
the judicial salaries to pre-harmonization. But often, the opposition always criticizes this. It's not true. That's not happened. It's not possible. But the minister says it's true.
Look, I think we need to ask people from the judiciary, but nobody in the judiciary knows that the salary is not pre-harmonized. It's not at pre-harmonization status in terms of salaries and benefits. Even the former Chief Justice, who just left, spoke about it. What she was making, in fact, she made a claim and she was settled. That's how all of those things on it. Because the judiciary, even though is big, well, it's not as big as compared to the executive. I mean, to the executive. Okay, so they can easily be handled along with the legislature, and then the executive. The executive is going to take some time. So the minister has always said that, and nobody has come out to say it's not true. So salary issues and benefit issues between the government and workers, and most of the time people are calling people's salary. They are confidential. If someone comes and say, I'm paying you 5,000, you were making 5,000 before, it was reduced to 2,000, but now I have reimbursed your money, going to 5,000. It left for you to come to say it's not true or not. If you don't speak to it, you and I will not know because we don't see a payroll.
Surely.
So in the sense, I don't see any reason if I were the minister, we can't lie to people.
Okay. Let me hold that. Let's hear you. Listen to the Minister of Finance addressing the graduates at the James A. Pierre Judicial Institute.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, the minister spoke very stupendously, and I must appreciate the fact that he normally delivers these kind of speeches. But
David, you're laughing. You don't know English. More than this.
Beyond these kind of.
The minister spoke.
He spoke stupendously.
Okay.
And beyond these kind of speeches, what matters is the practical reform.
Yeah, sure.
As part of the practical reform, I must give it up for this government in terms of budgetary allocation, because as far back to 2023, the judicial budget was placed around 18.5 million. And having the exception of this government, the 2026 budget is reflecting about 33.3 million. That is a vast increment. That speaks to the fact of intentional approach in terms of judicial reform. But there is something very cardinal that we must.
But always have, however.
Yeah, there is something cardinal, that we must point to, and that is about judicial performance.
Okay.
And it's also, coincide with what Mr. Famole said in terms of the performance of even the magistrates that we have at the various courts around the country. I see the judiciary similar like the educational sector, right? You have a teacher from wherever you carrying to assign to probably Kipamas High School in Harper City, Maryland County. This man is a bachelor degree as part of the requirement. He should be earning below, not less than $500 United States dollars. And you get a man to that place, you get a man $250. The man now who's supposed to be on a full government employee with that one institution will have to actually divide 7 into 2 to look for another private institution to work for. Only because he got to meet his demands. So what I'm saying is that this is the steps of the government so far. It is commendable in terms of the budgetary allocation, but beyond just the budgetary allocation, we need the government to be more robust in terms of the judicial reform, ranging from judges' performance, code of ethics, even to the sheriff. There have been a lot of alleged reports where you will see sheriff probably going to issue a writ, and for some extent he will be allegedly compromised only because he has received allegedly a bribe. All these things are troubling, and that has been one of the contributing factors to the decline in terms of public confidence in our judicial system, and that has been one of the major factors that have increased into mob justice in our country.
Okay, let me hold you there.
No, I think you come in a minute. Why?
Go ahead.
Why you deliberately want to jump over me?
Well, I'm coming to you. I'm not going to anybody else.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the thing.
Spectacular.
Yeah. This is the thing. I have a lot of interest I develop a lot of interest in the development regarding the magistrate. I've had a lot of experience with the magistrate course or magisterial course, because I've had in the past had a lot of issues with this course. So I'm familiar with the terrain in the magisterial course. The first thing is that the Minister of Finance and Development Planning, his statement is motivational. It's inspiring. The fact that he can talk about salary increment for, judges and others working with the court system. Nothing paying a judge handsomely would minimize the issue of bribe taking and corruption. And that's absolutely important. And I guess that has been the problem with the magisterial course in terms of, I heard the Chief Justice urging them to avoid impartiality. And what encourages impartiality is when magistrates or judges are underpaid, when they're not handsomely paid, they can easily be manipulated or compromised. So with the statement coming from the Minister of Finance and Development Plan, that needs motivation that is inspiring for judges. And I hope that it will make a lot of impact in terms of the behavior of judges and magistrates in our courts. Another issue that I didn't hear anybody mention is about the sheriffs in these magisterial courts who are serving in the magisterial courts. As I said, I've had a lot of experience with the sheriffs and other court officials at most of our magisterial courts. For example, you ask a sheriff, the judge or whoever, he gives the sheriff an instruction to go and deliver what they call itself,
A rate.
a writ, and you will have the case. You tell the magistrate, instead of, I don't know, because I noticed that the sheriff don't have vehicles, that they're not vehicles or motorbikes assigned to them. So, and besides that, most of the courts do not even have the capacity to continue to facilitate the movement, of sheriffs. So sheriffs demand, if you tell a sheriff, so look, my man, I have I have a $200 to contribute to your transportation to deliver the rate. The sheriff tells you, no, I want $500. He demands what he wants to be paid. So if the sheriffs were properly paid or handsomely paid, as we are advocating for judges and other court workers, let us also not turn a blind eye or turn a deaf ear to the issue of the sheriff. They should also be handsomely paid. So
We'll have to transition quickly. Yes.
Yes, so let me just help. You see, when the sheriff asks you, or in fact, even the judge will ask you to superintend the sheriff, meaning that you have to give him something to pay his way to go, and then you have to go with him to identify the person who complained that you brought. That under our law is acceptable. But wherein the person will actually demand from you, then that is illegal. But the law says you that brought a complaint, you have to superintend the sheriff.
All right, so gentlemen, let's try to transition quickly. You listen to the Nighttime Heat, Radio Prom FM 105.5. You can share the live video, which we wanted to do. By watching the show, we are streaming live on Prom FM Monrovia 105.5. We are also streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Now, gentlemen, just over the weekend, a few days ago, the name Finda Bono has been making rounds on social media. She lost her father. Our condolences. They had the ceremony, and she spoke there and made some remarks that have been trending on social media and also been generating some debates in street corners and public areas. So we sought to look into what she said. In some quarters, what she said may have some political undertone. But in other quarters, so well, what she said was just exactly the situation. There was and she could not hurt her feelings. Let's listen to Finda Bondo quickly. Okay, so that's the former protocol president to former President Weah. We read in the read-up that she indicated ringing praises on the current president Joseph Boyka and Deputy Speaker Thomas Farah has been those who stood by her. Although at the same funeral, the former foreign minister under Weah's administration, D. Maxwell Kemaya, in another word, countered some of what she said and said that the former president had been calling her by phone. But let me ask, gentlemen, this is Finda Bondo. Finda has been a very powerful person, influential during the administration of former President Weah. If Finda told you that you'll see Weah tomorrow, you should see Weah. Now, she named those who she says stood by her. She didn't name Weah. She didn't name all of her calls of the CDC. It means clearly that those people didn't stand by her, including her former boss. The question now, pressing President Boyka, pressing the deputy speaker at the time she's in court, going to answer to charges. Do you think, and let me begin with you, that her statements have some political undertone?
Well, I don't want to believe that. The first thing is that let's establish something clear. From what I watch, and knowing the woman that, I mean, the kind of character that embodies Finabono. I know that Finabono spoke on immense emotion. It's clear. And to some extent, you saw that the people around her was trying to even take the microphone from her, because what she was saying, I mean, in fair judgment, she was not speaking, I mean, I don't want to say speaking out of normality, but she was actually emotionally charged. She was pulled by her anger, by her emotions.
To the extent that she would name people who stood by her,
she was
and didn't name those who didn't stand by her.
She was led by her emotion, and this is where she actually got more emotional when people like Finabono, with the relationship she shared with former President Weah, she believes that there should be no justification in any point in time. People like Weah should not attend her father's funeral. That is what she believes. She believes even if Weah is out of the country and attending to whatever professional obligation has been, given unto him by FIFA, and once it is about Finabono father's funeral, we should fly back. We should abandon everything and just come back to Liberia to attend that.
I don't think Fina believes that.
No,
I know she believes that.
No, anyway, you say you don't think.
No, I don't think so.
But what you were doing for FIFA?
So, but that is a sad reality about the entire conversation. Let's ask ourselves, who has been Finabono before even we are becoming president? Finabono has been a popular, a notable Kobo seller in Fish Town River G.
Is that important in the conversation?
No,
please, David,
David,
why you always talking to put throat?
That's a
You have the time, man.
David is always emotional
Mr.
like
Leon.
Finabono.
Go ahead, go ahead.
You can speak that Finabono who just spoke, my man. Don't allow emotion to take the best part of you.
Go ahead.
So
you said she
has been a notable
Kobo seller. In your own word.
Kobo seller in Fish Town River G County. With no disrespect to her, she have played a part during the entire revolution of the CDC. She got emerged on board. And I want to believe that after we had lost the election, I want to believe that there must be a delegation, or better said, there must be a well-informed, information to Finabono. Say, okay, we understood that you've been very effective on your road as what the road says you are chief of protocol to the former president, but now he's no longer president. And obviously, once you are no longer president, it means that your entire time is dedicated to your family. So this man who you have dedicated most of the time serving as chief of protocol is now former president, and of course, he have the time now to cater to his president. And as far as administration requires, he has the right to reshape for his government. As his office.
So come in. What is it that you want to do align there? What is it you want to connect? You said she was a notable Kobo seller. How does it link her to what we're talking about?
I need the benefit of the time so that I can bring the correlations. So this is what I'm saying. Because Finabono, you said Finabono was one of the most powerful figures,
very influential
in the CDC. When she tells you that, you will see we are today, it means you will see we are no matter what. And I'm telling you, how did that come to reality? Looking at where she came from and how did Fina, get integrated into.
Okay, let me hold you there. You don't have to hold me there. No, let me hold you there. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. We'll go around the table. Dave,
what happens when people capacity, when people have low capacity in terms of these kind of issues. And that's what we are struggling. That's where we are struggling. I don't know whether
Dave, we has spoken.
I don't know whether the media is emotional. If you look
But
at,
you have justified
if you look
yourself
at David
multiple
Tagbo, you say
times.
David Tagbo is
Let me
emotional.
speak.
I don't think
please.
anybody.
Let me
I know.
speak.
I'm
Let me
not-
speak.
Oh,
Let
wait
me
now.
speak.
Please, Mr. Williams.
Yeah, let me
Mr.
speak.
Williams, let the man speak. Go
Mr.
ahead.
William,
Yeah, but you don't have to address what Mr. Williams said. Go ahead.
Mr.
and-
William,
and-
Mr. William, I don't have a hostile demeanor. I have a quiet demeanor,
I like that.
and so I'm not hostile. I'm not hostile. I deal with you quietly.
Dave, I asked the
The person
question.
is that
Dave.
it does not have political
Let
honor.
Dave. Okay, fine. Go ahead.
Finabono's statement does not have any political undertone.
Okay.
She was being realistic with what happened. It doesn't matter how many years she worked with George Weah as chief of protocol. What matters is who shows concern during the period of bereavement. Who showed concern? It is not George Weah. It is Joseph Boakai and Deputy Speaker Thomas Fadden and other officials of the government. They are the ones that show concern. George Weah did not show any concern. And you expect her to mention George Weah. All George Weah conversations, all his telephone calls were being done through Master Kimia. That's what we've heard. That's what we heard. George Weah can tell me that he doesn't have the direct contact
He lost it.
to Finda Ball.
Yes,
Why was he repeatedly calling Finda and channeling his messages through Master Kimia and not Finda directly? So the lady was being realistic. And now I've heard people, and I'm seeing people misconstruing her and casting a lot of aspersion on her, saying a lot of rubbish about her. That's absolutely wrong. She was being realistic. Her statement did not have or does not have any political undertone. She should be realistic. The other day you're talking about Weah. Look, I'm sure that there's a problem here. There's a problem here. This is a George Weah. People said you will make a comeback 2029.
No, we are not going there.
No.
We are not going there. You can't. No. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
I know you will not give me
Go
chance.
ahead.
I want to solidify my argument.
No.
You have to give me chance.
Our legal mind. Go
I have
ahead.
to solidify
No,
my
you go
argument.
off tangent. You go off tangent.
All the way to
You go off tangent. Our legal mind. Go ahead.
So there is.
So you getting the microphone. You getting the.
Chief,
No.
please let me speak.
I said that, man. Our legal
So-
mind.
so
The man's
there-
not our legal mind. I said our
So
legal
there
mind.
is once in a man's life where they get to the bottom of the pit, and the persons who pick them up, they will always remember you.
Mhm.
And that was what was happening to Madam Bondo. It's a disrespect to our mothers who sell kobo, who sell dry fish to educate us, and some of them emerge into politics. You think if in our just an ordinary kobo said that we would have brought Finda where she came? Finda was the doorkeeper of President Weah. Finda took the bullet. Finda took most of the bullet for former President Weah.
What day you accusing me?
And one thing that we need to realize here, Finda is from Lofa. Lofians are people who respect family ties. They don't see their own falling and walk away. They don't do that. They will rescue you. They will go for you, irrespective of the differences. And that's why she spoke easy to her brother, Thomas Fadden. She said, thank you. She was being grateful. And she said, the people who are sacrificed for, castigating me, they want to see me behind bars. That is her disappointment. That I took all of this bullet for these people. And today, I'm at the lowest peak of my life. And they are not there.
Okay, let me hold
No. You're not hearing me.
No,
Look at
You
the
get it,
get
man.
it, man.
You spoke now.
Chief,
Get it, man. More than 10
you
minutes.
get it, man. When they
Go
tell me
ahead,
to
go
speak,
ahead.
you have to
Yeah.
speak. Stop that. And I think it is indeed
Yeah.
very,
We're
very
fine.
wrong on the part of seditious to come out to criticize this lady because she's expressing herself. Do you know what it means if, God forbid, that woman was behind bar, not to even see the place her father was being buried? It was going to be a trauma for the rest of her
I
life.
hold you there, comrade. You made a point. Judge, let's go
I
ahead.
started knowing Finda when I was executive mansion correspondent for the Evidence newspaper during the time of Mr. Taylor.
Okay.
She was in the executive mansion as a press officer. Fode Sion,
Great
the late,
Colonel Mokubo Sela.
was there as director of press.
Please, you have spoken.
Listen,
Mama, please.
For me, I want to go by both and no Fina. Fode Sion was there. We all used to be there, afraid when we're going. Fina started a struggle run time throughout until Judy Bryant came. And Judy Bryant, she resurrected the honor Judy Bryant. She had paid our house in Broadville. I know the place used to carry us there. All right. That house in Broadville is not a new house that was built in Mr. Weir's time. I can clearly say that for sure. Okay.
Same as a witness.
Yeah. So probably she improved it, right? Because I left from there a long time, that Broadville house. So Fida, not just now she started making herself. She's been a lucky woman. Technically we say blessed, all right? She's been always at the corridor of power. I don't know where she was during Madam Salif time, because at that time, maybe at the time she went to go sell the Kobo, right? Okay. When Fina went to Rebel G, she was not as poor as you think. The structure that she hired, she hired, not in Rebel G. I can really speak to that. So when you say Mia Kobo said that, I wanted to address that. Do I agree with her?
Don't argue.
No, please, gentlemen, please, somebody on the floor.
Do I agree with the way she actually included everyone in her criticism? I would say no. Do I agree with her criticism? Yes. But sometimes when you are angry, this is my opinion. I like to be honest at certain point because it's critical. I know Fina, she was angry. No matter what happened, whether President Weah called you through emissary, and you leave that out.
But she didn't talk about it.
Call his name, you say, Lord, he did well.
No, the father,
even if he didn't.
Yeah.
Because it's that me and certain people in my life right now that helped me and made me to be where I am today. Even when we go wrong, I will still tell them thank you, right? So since you wanted to speak about saying thank you, I wanted her to also say thank you.
Sure.
And I wanted her to also say thank you to those who she thanked, even though she may not have been satisfied with the people who took her from down there to her zenith in her life, and financially, politically, and everything. I want her to tell them, oh, thank you, you did well.
Surely.
All right. And then come back and tell the president, thank you, tell Mr. Fala or Deputy Speaker Fala, thank you. Because what that does is, in my opinion, which I'm not able to do to anybody who helped me in my life, is you will be telling them, I still remember you, even though you think because we're not together, we're not together right now. You think you say, I'm going different, I'm going personal against you, no. But you forget about me, but you helped me yesterday. I still remember you.
Sure.
And that is gratitude. That is gratitude.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I think, no, 1 minute. I think I agree with you 100%. Think that should have, she should have still
shown gratitude
or recognized, former president.
Even if
No, please, my man, please. You're not asked to speak.
I'm not asking you questions. Even if there's nothing to show gratitude for,
you are not asked to speak.
even there isn't anything to show gratitude for.
No, wait, you can say that.
No,
wait, comrade.
That's
No,
what you're
wait,
saying.
wait.
No.
You knew Fina before? Fina, you know who Fina is?
Shaba.
You don't want, no, 1 minute. Listen. Let us not.
That has been dismissive.
One minute.
To the impact of
Dave, in this life, if somebody helped you in the past,
remember them.
Even if you had a beef in the current, but they helped in the past, reference them always. I say to people, and I will say it here publicly, I always reference Lejehu winning. God first, had it not been for Lejehu, I would have never held a green letter. I don't know, former president, we are not sat down before. Let me say this publicly, but it was Lejehu winning, who, when he was being appointed to Ministry of Information, he told President Weah, say, let one of our picking go and help those girls that are there. That's just how I went to EFBCO. I don't know, I'm not sedition. I've never worn CDC t-shirt. I've never sat with Mr. Weir. No, I'm coming.
No,
So I'm not saying
Bruto
I'm not coming. I'm only
Gratitude.
saying this. I'm saying this to tell you
Gratitude
that
pays.
one man that will always hold in high esteem, even if we had a beef current, I will hold Nigeria in high esteem because of what he did. So we are only saying this to say, look, but right, even if the president didn't call her directly, but at least she should have recognized and said, oh, you know, Mr. Former President, we are stood by me. To be very frank, well, thing that is now, yes. You hear what I said, man. You still going back and forth with this. Let's take a few calls, man.
Okay, Fina.
0778
Fina,
460 Again, 0778 460 or 0886 050507. 0886 050507. Let's take this first call on the line quickly. Good evening. Let's hear you.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
My name is Egu Fofana, member of UP Intellectual in Baji. Somebody you made me my heart broke down tonight. I will you high esteem. And I expect that kind of warm for you. Seriously.
Yeah.
So in the program will now be gratitude program. Kevin Demi is the manager to Pan FM. So what's that for you? Kevin refuse to even call you. Then when you go to your father program, you say Kevin Demi stand by me. You stop doing this. So who made George Weah? Okay, say George Weah stand for Fina. Who made George Weah now? All the Lazoria team will run it. The time will play football. What did he do? He did for himself.
Okay.
Yeah, you might be doing that kind of thing on a problem.
Okay, and you through with that?
I do, but you might be.
And you got through with your input. And you through with that?
They will not gratitude program.
Okay.
It was for the
Okay. Thank you. You made your point. 0778 460 793 or 0886 050507. Let's take this other call on the line quickly. Let's hear you. Your name?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I'm James Reliable Timothy, and I call you from Kazadi Boulevard,
Yeah, let's hear you, sir.
I just called just to give you the pieces of advice. The show you should be doing it in order. Because people usually tell me you partisan, you can listen to the other radio station. But for me, when I put my radio on, as long as discussing key issue, I will let you listen to that station. But on the day to that, they listen, you're just, oh my God, in 1 minute.
Okay.
He there?
Hello?
I think gone.
Hello? Oh, you go off. 0778 460 793 or 0886 050507. Again, 0886 050507. That's the number to call, and you are live on the nighttime heat. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir.
My name is James Colley. I call you from UN Drive.
Let's hear you, Mr. Colley.
Yeah, I want to disagree with my man George. You have to know what kind of treatment did the woman get from the CDC concerning the burial issue of her father. The program was not about herself. It is about her father, her dead father. What kind of treatment did she get from the CDC concerning her dead father? Maybe that's what prompted her how to behave the way she behaved. But to say that she did not recognize the good that was done for her, blah, blah. No, the circumstances did not call for that, maybe. Okay? Maybe. So now in every circumstance, you just appear, and because somebody did good, you want to say that good way. It's not in conformity with what the circumstance is.
Okay.
So we have to understand all of these.
Okay.
She was somehow angry by the way maybe she was treated when it comes to the death of her father. That's why she gave recognition to those who stood with her in the situation. Okay, so to say that she did not recognize Mr. Weah because of blah, 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 you have to give her the consideration.
All right, many thanks. Let's get another call on the line. Let's hear you.
Hello, somebody coming on.
I'm okay. Quickly.
Yeah, I just want to know one or two things. The security official on a funeral. I just want to know one thing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the
Party chairman was there.
The former Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Changako was there.
Kimoyan was there. Yeah.
Was there. Oh, okay. Then just what Joy is saying that she was too fast. But sometimes it's good to talk about someone that elevates you. So I want to talk about how she even though she was there, the president had but one of the things I think between the former foreign minister and George, yeah. So the former foreign minister should have related to the former president.
Okay.
So he to do la mistake. So I really happy with him. Like,
okay.
All kinds of things.
Okay. Many thanks. Let me take another call in line. My private line. I don't know who's calling this line.
Hello.
Yeah, let's hear you quickly.
Thank you. This is the voice of Emmanuel Cody, and I join you on District 13.
Okay.
Quickly, my content is the Finabono issue. I think Finabono know the treatment you're going through in the CDC. Being a father burial, after one post appreciating the president, she appreciated Nathaniel Mange, she appreciated Thomas Fala. And she appreciated other people like Timbata or people like Koho. So I think some officials in the CDC going against that woman or that woman trying so many things in our party. Look, most of that many in our party, especially the beginning, they're very arrogant.
Okay, thank you. You made your point. Let's get it up on the line. Hello.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Good evening to your fellow panelists.
Okay.
And my name is Theophilus Tintobe II.
Okay.
One of the conversation, and I think, Sabbath, yeah, you are continuing to follow the show and you continue to have good panelists, but unlike, I don't know, the one of the panelists came late, and the way he was responding to most of the talking points, he was like not on top of the issue today. However, let me say Samuel Twe issue, which was the first issue that you people discussed.
Mm-hmm.
So all I think what Samuel Twe said, it was a sentimental book. That's Samuel 12:1. Samuel 12 is aware that he was involved with bribery of jurors. Samuel 12 is aware of that. And even Councillor Arthur Johnson is aware of that. The two of them cannot escape. However, it is Twe who has been accused. And Twe know there was a bribery. Juror bribery, he bribed the juror because there is no legal sense in the ruling that comes from the court. Honestly, but I will conclude like this, so the Labrador Guinea border situation. This administration is a serious administration. And so every diplomatic steps will be taken to resolve that particular crisis at the border.
Okay.
Currently, there is no wars happening. There is no confrontation at the border. People are free and moving up and down. But I can tell you that in the soonest possible time, that will be resolved and the Guinean soldiers will return back to their land.
Thank you. Let me take this call on the line quickly. Let's hear you. We'll take another 3 more calls and we'll wrap it up.
Good evening, Mr. Joy.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you quickly.
Let me say good evening to your panelists. I'll leave for the comment, my picking family are calling for around our area.
Okay.
You know, Mr. Twe need to start crying, baby. Then facing the law, if he's saying innocent, then go and prove the case. Then start accusing the vice president, that the vice president giving instruction to, how they call it, judge, because they want by all court for him to go to jail. I think that the work of the vice president has plenty things to do. Talking about Madam Noah Finabono issue, you see, how we can tell people, if you take one person in the party, you feel that person they putting law and gospel, they are on by against no negative thing. I will be saying the former president, you know, they wanted for himself.
Mr. Guru.
We're going off. 077 8460 793. We'll take one or two more and then we'll wrap it up. Or 086 05 05 07. Again, 0778 460 793 or 086 05 05 07. Let's take this caller quickly. Let's hear you. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, let's hear you quickly. You say? Hello?
Yes.
You say you who? What's your name?
My name is Kuma M. Kamara.
But how do you say LPRC Badishi Director? Yeah.
I got a call from Caldwell.
Okay, go ahead quickly. Go ahead quickly.
Concerning the former minister. The former minister in playing game with Laban people. Because you know that why he did is corner this country to the extent that who are living in other poverty, so you may fit in the line like using the 5% of people that girl. Thanks.
Okay, many thanks also. I like how you handle yourself. Thank you. Gentlemen, let's go around the table quickly. A minute each.
We'll start.
Mr. William, let's hear you.
But at the time,
they're going. It starts from us.
You guys are so this is how I'm going to conclude, right? We all know the history of Finabondo, and there has been no point in history where CDC is on record of wishing Finabondo to go to jail. The very same government today she's praising, that is the very same government that is prosecuting her. So that is a contradiction in the statement of Mr. Famode saying that all citizens are wishing. I'm not a citizen, but it's important to state for the record that there has been no point in time on a CDC government that Fina was ever indicted or prosecuted, for whatever alleged corruption. But this is the government of Hokisi uncle, the president, that is prosecuting her. So I want to say there is always an African proverb, Sabo. You cannot use one mistake to erase all of the 1,000 good. We know the history of Finabondo far back and know how Finabondo became powerful, nationally known to the many countries she have flew over the years on a former president we have. So gratitude is the order of the day. She cannot use a precedent case of a 85-year-old man who has lived all his life to say, categorically you will dismiss all of the good that has been done by George Weah.
Thank you. Dave.
Well, I'd like to close this way. How can Saba Josh be overwhelmed with joy with the way a Manon Guinean president entered Sierra Leone? I'm disappointed. A president who wants to create a hostile environment in the sub-region, and you're happy with the manner in which he enters Sierra Leone? He said, why are you telling the Liberian people? I'm absolutely disappointed.
Thank you, Dave. Go ahead.
I'm disappointed.
So I will react first of all to the CDC colleague here who always dodging that it's not a sedition. I didn't say CDC went against Finda. I said those who she supported over time. I didn't call CDC names. So if you are a CDC Ponde, accept it. Now, let me just correct the myth that you put out here on the entry of the Guinean president into Sierra Leone. There's a Geneva Convention on the issue of how arms are entered into other territory. And I'll give you an example. In fact, two. One, during our
you
last...
don't have much time.
No. You gave this man letter of time. Sit down. No. Chief. I come in. No, Chief. You interrupting me.
Yeah, but go ahead.
No, you are interrupting me.
Yeah, but you
please.
Come in and give the man.
Please, I will give him two examples. One, during the last 26th celebration, former Brigadier General Mada Bio, who's ECOWAS chairman, visited Liberia. He came with army personnel. Their weapons were all taken by Liberian security forces at the border. On their way back, the weapon was given to them. President Donald Trump flew to Turkey. On his way back, there was an intelligence that there is a threat on his life. He didn't call to bring all of the fleet in the Mediterranean to protect him. What they did, they sent for the older version of the Air Force One because it has a counter defense system. It tells you that you cannot invade people's territory with weaponry without their
Let's hear you, George.
consent.
Thank you. I love the caller. I call and differ with me on that issue. But I come from the background, like when someone does good for you, no matter what, even you and the person making confusion, you should acknowledge them, acknowledge what they did.
Sure.
Yes, the party was represented, fully represented at the funeral. I mean, I don't support CDC. I'm not a fan of CDC. I can be very clear on that. I mean, I got no regret to say that, but the truth is, my interest in that reaching to the level that she is economically, even status-wise in society, came from former President Weah. All right. I know sometimes probably he didn't call her direct and decided to go indirect. I would not take offense to that. So I just say, oh, I appreciate
we share the same view, comrade.
So we're not saying to say that we're supporting them. No, we're supporting whatever. No, but sometimes when people help me in my life, the time will come, we sit down on the radio and call their name and sing for them and clap for them. Some of them we don't agree, but the impact of our lives. Yeah, so we have to do that in life. Liberians, let's try to be that type of person.
Yeah, that's good. Now let me respond. No, I got two individuals. I always reference them, and I got call one name, right? Yeah. And in time to come, I'll call the other name. We'll call us. That's your business. Now, David, let me respond to you. I'm closing, David. Let me respond to you. Dave, I said it initially that I was elated, I was joyful, I was happy when I saw the way the Guinean president drove in Sierra Leone. Dave, the guy just demonstrated that he is a military man. And if I'm a military man, Dave, when I come into the studio, you'll see all my weapons around me. Until then, join us tomorrow for another edition of the program.